Today's topic of discussion is false expectations. So there's a lot of false expectations of what a relationship is supposed to look like and how it's supposed to be, this loving type relationship, and everything's going to be all happy days and rainbows, but it couldn't be further from the truth. So we're going to be discussing some key points in what a relationship is supposed to look like and what the false programming has done to a lot of people, and it's made them think to themselves that we're supposed to be living in this loving fantasy type world. So first point is love. So for what a man is and what he views as love is different to what a woman views as love. So a man simply is happy with the small things in life. So if he comes home to a cooked meal, if a woman is not giving him any headache, any drama, and she's somebody who is providing value to him and providing peace to him and giving him that feminine energy. So that's what a man considers love, what a real man considers love. A woman, what she views as love is, in her brain, she's thinking, a man who's constantly giving me attention, constantly, giving me validation, is always checking up on me, is always making sure that I'm all right, and he's bending over backwards to do whatever he can for me. That is complete false. So anytime you speak to a woman, you need to let her know, look, whatever expectations you've got of this marriage and your idea of the perfect man, it isn't the reality, and we're not going to be going based off of that. We're living in a world which is a real life. So we're living in real life here. We're not living in a fantasy type world here. So love is, from a woman's side, she needs to be that caring, loving, submissive, cooperative, friendly, and being that woman who prioritizes her family. That's what love is. So that's what providing love is from a woman's side. What it is right? Society has conditioned women to think that by watching these movies, that so these Bollywood movies, for example, is that the man is going to be always chasing after you, and if he's not chasing after you, then there's some sort of problem there. So a woman will test you to see whether or not you're going to be in a submissive position and whether or not you're going to start chasing her. Now, these tests, are several manipulation tactics that she's going to use, and the go-to is to hit her with the no contact. So when you see that she is putting on bad behavior and she's not cooperating with you, and when she is saying, you don't love me and you're not listening to me and this and that, you just hit her with no contact, and that will fix that right there. And then you condition a woman over time as well by telling her, look, this is what it is in terms of raising a family and how effectively you're providing value and she's providing value. So that's what it is. That's what love is. It's a value exchange there. Love isn't this, constantly seeking each other's attention and constantly spending all this time together. So that's what in these movies, in these fantasy type movies. So that leads us to the next point about the fantasy. In the fantasy type movies, these movies here, through Hollywood, Bollywood, and all these, agendas that are being pushed out, that are, a woman needs to feel like her husband or her man is always there and he's always chasing after her, and then he's making sure her needs and her desires are being met. And if he's not meeting them, then he is a problem and he's not good enough. So the reality is, you can never appease a woman's emotions. You can never fulfill her emotions, and she'll never be satisfied. So let's say she has a good man, who is a law-abiding citizen. He's somebody who takes care of his purpose. He's providing value to society and, providing for his family and so on. She's going to be thinking to herself, and she's going to be saying, I wish you was spending more time with me, and I wish you was, we could spend more time together during the weekdays or weekends or whenever. And then let's say he does that. So he starts to spend time with her. He spends a lot of time with her. she's then going to be complaining, and she's going to be saying, oh, I wish I had a man who was like prioritizing his work, he was spending more time at his work, and then he was being a better provider, and I wish he was somebody who was developing in other areas. You can never win with that. So you can never win with the fantasy land of women. Women live in this delusional mindset to think that, oh yeah, she's going to have this, and this in all these metrics. So women, they'll say, oh yeah, I want this massive list of all the things that I want in a husband. But let's be real here. They never end up getting that guy. Because what happens is, let's say she says, I want a guy who's successful, good looking, tall, handsome. He is someone with all these different characteristics, right? That guy only exists in her head. The reality is she's going to have to compromise and settle. So anytime a woman says anything to you, and a woman's saying, oh yeah, I want this and that in a man, I want all these things here, do not feel like, oh yeah, you're not good enough, or you don't tick those criteria. Because guess what? A woman's going to say one thing, but then she responds to something else. So that's what it is in life as well. You're seeing through the game, right, that these guys in these movies and all these kind of things, they're all fictional. It's all superficial. They're not people who are real life. So the woman's going to need to know this as well, and then you condition her as well by applying no contact to her. So women don't want you to know this. The more time you spend away from a woman, the more her love and her desire increases. So her desire and love goes up the more time you spend away from her. So then the less time you spend with her, her desire and her interest goes down. Reason being is because that guy there needs to be prioritizing his purpose. So his purpose always comes first in life. Never be that guy who is deviating from your purpose, and you're spending all that time trying to satisfy a woman's needs, because she's going to end up despising you and she's going to end up leaving. So that's that point. Next point is social media now. So social media has brought so much false expectations into relationships now. So let's say you're in a relationship with a woman's flicking through social media, and she's seeing this man and this woman on Instagram, and she's seeing how, oh yeah, that guy there, he's buying her flowers, he's buying her gifts, and he's taking her on a holiday, he's doing this and that. And then she turns around and says, oh yeah, you never do any of this for me. Why is it that she gets that treatment but I don't get the same treatment? She's just going to be complaining because she's indulging in social media and that false expectation, and she's not seeing the reality of, okay, that couple there, yeah, they're showing all the highlights, so all the highs, but where's the lows in life? They're not showing the low points. They're not showing the behind the scenes of when things are going downhill. The relationships that are posting on social media, those people there are the most unsatisfied in their relationships, and studies have even shown this as well from the questionnaires. People who are constantly posting on social media of their relationship, they're the most insecure, they're the most dissatisfied people in their relationships, and they are not content in life. That's why all of this social media is a facade. So you need to let a woman know that as well. When she's seeing that content, then you tell her, look, that's all fictional, that's all fake, none of that is real. And what you and your partner posts is different to what they're posting. So your partner shouldn't be posting, for example, videos of herself and photos of herself for all these other thirsty guys to be seeing her. You want a woman who's effectively not on social media and she's not consuming social media. And you as a man, when you're on social media, you should be posting content related to your business and related to your purpose. Do not be that type of guy who's posting just stupid content, stupid selfies and all these kind of things here. A lot of these guys nowadays, it's a certain trend to always post materialistic things, always post going on holidays and so on. You need to differentiate yourself, guys. You need to be where the herd is going, you need to do the opposite. So these guys here, these sheep, they're all following that direction. You need to be like, okay, cool, I'm going to go this direction, because that one there is a more interesting route. This one here is just the same BS. You don't want to go down that same pathway. And then the next point is jealousy. So with a girl, right, so let's say you're in a marriage and you're with a woman, yeah? A woman is going to be speaking to her friends, right? And then her friend is going to just whisper to her or say something to her and be like, oh yeah, did your man buy you these roses, or did he buy you something for, Valentine's Day, which is another, day linked to like satanic rituals and fornication. So it's linked to fornication that day as well. But that's a whole nother story. So she's going to be saying to her, oh yeah, did he not get you something, or for her birthday or something like that, or whatever it is, some sort of occasion. She's like, oh, did he not get you something? That right there, that woman there is planting a seed in her head, and then she's starting to think whether or not you're good enough for her. So this is jealousy. So jealousy is detrimental in all areas of life. And that links back to having this expectation of this so-called high life. The high life, right, it incorporates all these superficial things. So you're seeing all these superficial things on the internet about, oh yeah, you need to have the big house, flashy lifestyle, and you need to be traveling. And then if you're not doing any of these things there, then you're just not good enough. This creates jealousy within people, and then that right there, that creates evil eye to the people who are watching that. So jealousy, anytime you spot any type of jealousy from a woman, you let her know that this is what it is, this is the reality of it. You need to tell her. So tell her this, yeah, never be a type of woman who's comparing yourself to other relationships and comparing what those relationships are like, because you don't know what's happening behind closed doors with those relationships. You can only go based off of what's present in front of you. And a lot of people always put on a facade, and they always make it out like, oh yeah, they're living this great life, when in fact it's the complete opposite. So just to wrap up, so love. So men and women view love differently. So men view love as the simple things in life. So, getting a cooked meal at home, for example, getting a little bit of love and attention when he comes back home, giving him a compliment, telling him, oh yeah, you've worked really hard today. I want to make sure that you're fully taken care of when he's done his like 10 hours, 12 hours in the day or whatever. And then he's going to be happy and content with that. And then as long as his kids are taken care of as well, he's going to be content. He's going to be satisfied with that. With women, they're always going to want more. They're always going to say, oh yeah, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And then a woman's going to be saying, oh, if you're spending a lot of time on your purpose, a woman's going to be complaining and saying, oh yeah, you're not spending enough time with me. And then when you start to deviate from that, and you're not working on your purpose, and you're spending more time with her, she's going to start complaining and saying, oh yeah, you should be out working and you should be trying to provide for us more, and this and that. So it's a never ending cycle. You can't win that. So that's why you need to make sure that you are always prioritizing yourself first, and you're prioritizing your purpose. And then the next point after that was fantasy. So people are living in a fantasy land, guys and women. So men and women, they're watching these movies of these so-called romantic type movies, and they've been conditioned to think that the more love they give to a woman and the more attention that they give to a woman, the more she's going to be satisfied and the more she's going to be happy. That's going to have the complete opposite effect. It's going to repulse a woman, it's going to repel a woman, and it's going to push her away. And she's going to start to despise that guy there. But she's going to be telling you that. She's going to be saying, oh yeah, this and that, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. And she's going to be playing into that narrative in her head. But do not entertain that. So you always focus on yourself there. Next point was social media. So the social media game has brought about a lot of false expectations of what a relationship looks like. And people are thinking the more photos we post online, the more videos we post online of us having a good time and stuff like that, the more our relationship is validated. That couldn't be further from the truth. The people who post more on social media, the people who post their relationships and these couple goals and all this other nonsense, yeah, the more dissatisfied they are in their relationships, because they're always chasing attention and validation from other people. And then the final point was jealousy. So jealousy is spread in the household when a man and a woman are both looking at, for example, through social media, and they're looking at all these couples and stuff like that. This creates jealousy within the household, and then it creates this friction where the man and the woman, they're thinking that, they're not doing enough, or they're not good enough for each other, And that right there leads to their downfall. So you need to always be focused on your own relationship rather than what other people's relationships are like. Do not focus on other people's relationships. You can only focus on what you can control, not what other people are in charge of. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.